Hello, everybody. Welcome to the first All-in-One Nerd Show, the first live one of the year. With me today, as always, is my co-host Illuminerdi. Illuminerdi, how are you?
I am great. We are in the new year. How
Yeah.
exciting. I keep saying 2024 anytime I have to sign the year or anything. And that's going to
Yeah,
continue until what? February,
yeah.
middle of
I
February.
always do the same thing. How were the holidays?
They were good. I took a little bit of a break. I went home for Christmas, actually ended up extending that a little bit.
No,
And then
nice.
I was able to come back. And when I came back, my work was still closed. So I was able to kind of just decompress, which was nice.
Take a little break.
Um, yeah, I definitely started to notice me get a little burnt out on just work, wake up, work, wake up, work. So it was nice to
Yeah,
recalibrate a little bit.
good, good. Did you get any comics or anything for Christmas?
I did.
What's your
Um,
Christmas
go
on?
ahead. I did, but a lot of them are across the room or over to my right. But we did a Secret Santa with my family, so I got some books from them.
Awesome.
Um, I think my parents just gave me like $100 bill and just said get something, and then obviously I kind of treated myself as well. So I got a
Nice.
handful of stuff. Nothing too crazy. But what about you? How was your holidays? What'd you end up doing?
It was good. It was good. Yeah, very relaxing. Just hung out with the family and whatnot. Sometimes we like go down to Florida or have cousins come up, and this year wasn't any of that, which was nice. It was very chill,
Yeah.
and yeah, it was just a relaxing time and whatnot. And let's see, what did I get? I did a Christmas haul video. Um, I got Desolation Jones, Heat Seeker, um, Gun Honey. Have you ever read those? Like Gun Honey?
Unhoney sounds familiar, but I haven't read anything else. No.
Omnidog talks about that series a lot.
Yeah.
Let's see what else. I got Headlopper. I know you mentioned that in one of our shows. I think it
Yeah.
was the Black Friday show, and that's when I heard about this series before, but you really put it on my radar, so I made sure to ask for that for Christmas. I got 100 Bullets down here, right
Nice.
there. I got Manifest Destiny Volume 1, Birthright Volume 1, Extremity, Department of Truth Volume 1, and then I think that's really about it. I got them. We called them Giants. Um, yeah, and I think that's kind of it. Blue Book I got by James Tinney in the fourth. Excited to read that.
The trade paperback for that,
Mhm.
or because I think it's getting a deluxe edition.
Oh, is it?
I think don't quote me on that.
Okay,
I'm really out of the loop. I'm catching up
I'll have to
literally
look
all
into
today
that.
and stuff.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I don't know if it is. I'll have to look into that because I know there's two or three now out volumes. I think they just release them in volumes. They don't like do single issues, I believe. And I know there's two out, and I thought there was a third, but
Yeah, that's uh like a historical series, like it's actual real life like alien accounts and stuff that James Tynion's
yes,
retelling.
from my understanding, I think each book is a anthology, and it's a retelling of true. Well, if you believe in that stuff, um, true like alien abduction, alien encounters, stuff like
Mm.
that, and which that's awesome. I love nonfiction stuff like that, so I'm all about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm into the alien stuff. You might like Department of Truth if you like that type of. Do you have that? I don't know if you
Yeah,
have that.
I got that for Christmas,
Oh
volume
yeah,
one.
yeah, right. Don't
It's
get the that second volume. That second volume is not a comic book, by the way. I had to find
is
that out
it
the hard time.
is that like the? I think I know what you're talking about. Do you know what it's called? I'm drawing a blank on it. What do you mean? It's not a comic? Is it like a collection, like a cover gallery thing?
It's
Or?
like a encyclopedia of mythical creatures.
Hmm.
So you got like
Okay.
Sasquatch in there. You have like the little gray men. Yeah, I thought it was behind me, but maybe I put it with my a little bit larger books.
Hmm.
But yeah, it has
Avoid that.
like one single issue at the end, and I think it's not even connected to like Department of Truth or anything like that.
Huh.
Or it is connected. It's just like it's not part of the
Main
actual.
story.
Yeah,
I see what you're saying. Interesting. I didn't know that. Okay, that's good to know. I know the series is still ongoing. Like the main, I thought that was a spinoff. That hardcover you're talking about. I can't
oh,
remember that. It's something
Wildlands.
Wildlands. That's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, so that's good to know because that was on my radar after reading that. So
Yeah,
that's
don't
good to
get
know.
that.
Okay.
I mean, it is cool. I will say that. Like, I remember when I was younger in elementary school during book fairs, like I would get books like that. Like
Yeah.
encyclopedias that have Sasquatch and the
Yeah. Yeah.
Chupacabra and stuff like that. But it's definitely not a comic book, so just be prepared for that.
Got it. Okay. That's good to know. Yeah, maybe I won't. I guess if I really love the series, maybe I'll get it and
Yeah.
read it. But we'll have to see. Cool. So, what have you been reading? Anything good? I know you've been traveling, so have you had time to really read?
Yes, I read. So I caught up on all of my Energon Universe stuff. So I
Oh,
read
cool.
Destro and Scarlet. Finished that. I finished the Shazam by Mark Waid and Dan Mora. And then I
Okay.
also, because I only read the first 2 issues in singles, finished the first trade for Tom King's Wonder Woman run, which was incredible, absolutely amazing. Yeah, and I think there was another book that I'm forgetting, but it's slipping by me. But yeah, I read something like 5 or 6 trades or something while I was
A
traveling,
good
and
amount.
yeah, I was trying to get it under my belt. Having free time like that, you're like, oh man, like you're just salivating, like, oh, I can do so much, and
Sure.
the day still passes like that.
Yeah.
So
No, I get you. Okay. Cool. Cool.
yeah, did you or do you have any interest in Wonder Woman by Tom King?
I mean, I don't know about buy trades or anything like that. I do. I found out recently that Tom King's kind of like a controversial writer. Like some people love him, some people hate him. From what I've read from him, I've enjoyed everything I've read. Really, I've read Mr. Miracle, um, and then Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, and
Yeah,
I enjoyed both those. Actually, there was one that I didn't like, The Human Target. That's by him, I think.
yeah,
Did not
yeah,
really enjoy that one. But if I were to read like Wonder Woman by Tom King, I probably would just read it digitally, honestly.
yeah.
Um, yeah, I think just digitally.
I would recommend it. That was one I was
Okay.
reading. How I said when I read books sometimes, like I base it off like my friends and stuff. Like I'm like, oh, this is a Labruski book or whatever. Like
Sure,
when I
yeah.
was reading it, it had some of the political aspects that were somewhat reminiscent of on the stump, but
Okay.
so it was kind of in that realm,
Yeah.
but with Wonder Woman, and it was pretty interesting play with the character. I mean, I definitely see why people are maybe not super fond of it. I
Okay.
mean, he definitely does not steer away from details. He does play it very on the nose at points, but it's really different. I kind of like
Okay.
it, and I think you would also. But
Is it like a super long run? Or like how many issues is in the
I think
buy-in?
there's 2 trades out right now, and that's it.
Is that ongoing? Is he still
Yep.
writing Wonder Woman? Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Yep.
So it's newer. Okay. All right. I'll have that on my radar too then to check out. Because
Yeah.
maybe I would enjoy it. From like Absolute Wonder Woman, I enjoyed that. I like the character of Wonder Woman, so yeah, I'll give it a shot.
Yeah. Yeah, it has a lot of political elements, like I said, like on the
Yeah,
stump,
sure.
but it's also a murder mystery type of story too, where a Amazon killed, I think it's like eight bikers in a bar, and they're trying to like outlaw Amazons in the United States. So Wonder Woman's like front and center. So it's
Interesting.
pretty interesting story elements applied to her that we haven't really seen before.
Cool. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I'll have to check that one out for sure. Let's see. Kane, good evening, gentlemen. Happy New Year to you all. Good evening to you, and Happy New Year to you as well. Hope you're doing well, Kane. Okay, let's see what I've been reading. I just read Desolation Jones. Have you read that?
I think I saw that when I was looking for books that I was going to pick up, and I didn't know what it was about, but it has a really interesting cover, doesn't it?
It does. Yeah, let me grab it. It's right here.
Wait, is that J.H. Williams on art?
Yeah.
Yeah, then yeah, I was eyeing it up, but I didn't pick it up now.
Yeah, the cover is awesome, and it's oversized. It's like the same size as like the Remender
Editions.
editions. So it's the artwork too is awesome, and I'm gonna do a video on it because I have issues with the story. I'm actually gonna reread it before I do a video on it because it's a detective story, a little bit like noir detective, really. And what Desolation Jones is hired to do is like super. I feel like that will make or break the book for you in a weird way because it's so out there, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm doing a bad job explaining it, but I feel like that will, like, if you're like, okay, that's an interesting premise, then you'll like it. But if not, if you're like, oh, I don't know, then I don't know if you will, because it is very graphic at times, very intense too. It's an intense read. It's not very dense, but it really, like, I feel like after reading some of the issues, like I need to take a shower almost. like honestly, I was like, oh my gosh. And yeah, but I enjoyed it overall. I am going to do a full video on this, I think, eventually. I do want to reread it, but if you like mystery, detective, noir stories, I think you'd like it for sure.
Yeah, I know J.H. Williams in general, he's just a super obscure kind of art style. So it's nice to see that he's on a book that's kind of out there and obscure because it probably lends perfectly to his art.
For sure. Yeah, the artwork is great. I love the panel layout is very unique, and he has a little forward at the beginning, J.H. Williams, talking about kind of his approach to like the panel layout and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very experimental at times, which I always enjoy. And I think it works. So yeah, I would recommend it. It's a even just for the artwork, I think the artwork's really cool, and just the overall page design and everything like that, I think really works.
Yeah, obviously a lot of my budget goes to Marvel and DC, but I do like to sprinkle in a blind buy here and there. So I'll have to check it out.
So yeah, it's like going to be the opposite for me from now on. Like all my money is going to go towards like indie books, I think, instead of Marvel and DC.
Sometimes that's the way to do it. Indie, I 100% believe indie has the best quality and caliber of books out there, but I'm just a sucker for Marvel and DC. It's what I grew up with. So it's
absolutely. I get that completely. I think for right now, like all the Omnis, which now I can like display because of my new setup. I think I have like all the Omnis from Marvel and DC that I want for right now, at least. I would actually like the Planetary Omnibus by Warren Ellis.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe if that goes on sale, I'll pick that up or something. But I would much rather buy like trade paperbacks of like indie books that are coming out, just because I find myself enjoying indie titles more than Marvel and DC for the most part. And I can do a lot of my reading of the big two on my iPad, which I'm fine with most of the time. So it's like whatever. Let's see. Okay. Kane, I'm glad you're doing well. Oh, and thank you. Yes, the Lego Batman animated series right there. I love it. Are you going to get the light set for it? I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think I will. My mom actually, she was gonna buy me the light set for the Daily Bugle for Christmas, but then she decided against it. So I don't think I will get it. I don't know. Let's see. Oops. Kane, Vault Image, Dark Horse, and Boom Studios have become like, yes, for sure. Yeah, I love all those studios. Let me see if there's any others. I mean, DC Vertigo, they have some indie titles. I mean, technically, right? Or not technically.
It feels indie. It's in the vein.
Like
It is
Preacher,
DC. Yeah.
Preacher, Why the Last Man. What else? I don't know.
Sweet Tooth.
Sweet Tooth, Day Tripper, I think is technically
Yeah.
Vertigo. So yeah, those are like my go-to. I love Image a lot too. And then I feel like there's another studio that I'm missing that I'm not whatever, or publisher. Yeah, so let's dive into our most anticipated comics of the year first, why don't we? And then we can talk movies, and then I wrote down some TV shows as well. I don't know if you did.
I did as well.
Cool.
Comics is by far my longest list of the three.
I think it is mine too. Movies is I only have 3 movies that I'm like somewhat excited for this year.
Same here.
Yeah. I was looking at the movie roster and I'm like, none of this really is like excites me, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, I was being really strict on myself because obviously with comics, I mean everything I'm excited for technically. But I wanted to put just the stuff that I really, really liked, and then I did the same with like shows and movies. So even if there was like a movie or show that was like, oh, maybe I'll check that out, I'd left it off the list. This is stuff that I am like pumped for.
Got it. Yeah, these are things that I will definitely watch. I think. Well, I guess I wasn't as strict. Some of this stuff I can wait till it comes out on DVD. Okay, we got Brian here. Evening. How are you? Then we got Fifth of Jack Gaming. What's up, dude? I hope you're doing well. Okay, why don't you start first? What is one of your favorite comics? Or I'm sorry, one of your most anticipated comics.
All right. I will start a little bit tame, but it's going to be X Factor by Peter David Omnibus Volume 4, which is coming out. I don't know what month, but I know it's coming out in 2025. X Factor is one of my favorite X books, if not my favorite X book. I'm not a huge X-Men fan, but I've always loved X Factor. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the team lineup or Peter David and kind of what he lends to the team. But it's crazy to think we have 4 volumes of X Factor that will eventually be out. So that's my first one.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah, volume 3 came out last year, I believe, right?
I want to say so. Yes, I want to say early or maybe mid 2024.
I think it was early. I think it was like February or March. Okay. Yeah, I haven't really read much of X-Men altogether, honestly. I really want to buy the Astonishing X-Men by Joss Whedon omnibus because I read that digitally and I really enjoyed it. But it's so out of print. So I'm really hoping there's a reprint of that at some point so I can really kind of dive into X-Men a little bit. Okay, so it was X Factor, right? I always get that and X-Force confused. Okay, X Factor.
Yes, X Factor, how it started, they were 2 sides of the same coin. X Factor was a government-sanctioned mutant team, and X-Force was like a rogue vigilante type of X-Men team. So same premise, just opposite sides.
And you're a big fan of Peter David, right? Or are you not?
Yeah, at first I said I wasn't, but the more and more I thought about it, he kind of wrote all of the 90s in some form or fashion. So I would say I am a big Peter David fan.
Okay, and Peter David, he has a Hulk run, right? That's
his most acclaimed run is on The Incredible Hulk. That's 5 volumes for that. He also wrote Supergirl, Aquaman, X Factor, just to name a few. But he's lended something to like every character at this point.
Okay. That's a writer I'll have to read. I have been interested in reading his Hulk run. Yeah, I do want to check that out eventually. Harvey Picar's Ghost. It's such an interesting name. Hello, hope you're doing well. Ian and Becca Comics. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for joining us. Okay, let's see. So I am excited for a book that is not even announced. Well, it was announced, but then it got pushed back, and now I don't think there's a release date. So it's kind of tentative whether it's coming out this year or not. I hope it is. But that's Astro City Omni. I'm really excited for that. I got the first trade last Christmas. And I started reading it. I said, "Oh, this is really good." And I knew there was an omnibus coming out. So I'm like, okay, I had my mom return that because she got that for me for Christmas. Because I'm like, I'll just wait till the omnibus. And now I'm still waiting. So who knows if that's coming out this year. But if it does, I will be buying that for sure. And I'm excited for that one.
Yeah, that is a very renowned title. Kurt Busiek writing. I think Alex Ross only lends to the covers. I don't know if he does internals.
Yeah. I believe so.
But I haven't read any of that either. So we're in the same boat there, and I'm really excited to check out that omnibus. It's called like the Opus edition or something like that.
I think so. Yeah, I believe it is. Yes. Yeah. So that's like an indie book. I believe, right? Or is that?
I think I want to say, only because I just watched a video today and I vaguely remember it, that I think Image is putting it out, but Dom of X is here and he will probably correct me.
Brent Anderson draws the book. Alex Ross is the cover artist. Got it. Flash designer. Cool. Okay. Thank you, Dom of X. Anyhow, yeah, I think that's like it's an own separate world. Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't exist in Marvel or DC. Yeah, it's its own thing.
Awesome. So I'm very excited for that, and hopefully we get it this year. If not, I might just pre-purchase the trades because I do want to read that, honestly. But okay, awesome. So what is your next most anticipated comic of the year?
Next one will be, I'm kind of picking and choosing. I'm going to go with Nightwing by Tom Taylor, Omnibus. Let's get that out of the way. I think I am not in the minority being excited about this. This was so well received in single issues and trades and hardcovers. It's very deserving of an omnibus, and it's going to be so cool to see that. I want to say this is because I know Marvel is no stranger to collecting super recent runs in omnibus format, but I think DC doesn't do that as much. And somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. I want to say this is like the first actual really recent omnibus we'll be getting.
Interesting.
From DC, but yeah, really, really excited to get that. I have all the hardcovers, but it is
awesome.
What it is.
Yeah, I've heard a lot about that run. I haven't read it or anything like that. But I mean, I hear so much about that run and have now for over a year plus, so that's one where if I do get it, I will check it out, I think digitally first, before I, purchase the omnibus, because I have heard some mixed things, honestly, about it. I think it was like on TikTok maybe, or I can't remember where, but yeah, I don't know. Some people weren't too big of fans of it, I guess.
Yeah, I've come to just accept at this point that people just crap on anything. It's like there can be the best run ever, and there's still going to be someone that absolutely hates it. So it's just like, why not check it out?
Yeah, no, for sure. And I know of the covers. I feel like the covers are like thirst trapping Dick Grayson. Okay, Diamondbacks. Nightwing by Taylor will be the first omnibus published by DC that's starting during the Infinite Frontier 2020. Okay, interesting. That's good to know. Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so Nightwing by Tom Taylor. When's that coming out? What do you know?
Dom. Let me tag in
Dom.
Dom. I know he knows off the top of his head. I don't know. I honestly looked up stuff right before I came back from a gender reveal. Only Labruski knows that, but right before I left, jotted down some stuff, sent it to
Yeah.
my computer, so I have it, and that's the
That's
extent.
it.
So I came a little ill prepared. That's
Well, that's all right. No worries there. That's why we have the wonderful people in the chats to
I
help us
believe
out.
it's spring though. I think those solicits
Okay.
for spring of 2025.
Cool. Okay, my next book is also a book that's not announced yet, but it would make sense if it comes out in 2025. That's the deluxe edition of Saga, the 4th edition. I really hope that comes out in 2025. I believe there's enough issues out now to collect the 4th edition, so I hope they do that finally. I think that'd be awesome. I am mostly caught up with Saga. I have to actually. I think this most recent issue just came out, I believe. So I have to read that still, but I would love to have that in oversized hardcover format, just because I love Saga so much.
What are they up to at this point? Like issue 72 or
72 or 71? Let me see if I can find it here.
last one I remember hearing news about was issue 69, and that was because of the cover. But
Yeah.
um,
Let's see. I think it's 72. Yeah.
thank you, Dom.
Okay. Oh, this is for Nightwing. Okay, 7/22 release date for awesome. Cool. I wonder how many omnibuses are there going to be for that? Or is that just going to collect the whole run?
I think it is solicited as a volume one, but
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. I don't know. I mean, I feel like it should be just one omnibus because there's
Dom says 2.
seven volumes, right? If we're counting the Fear State one. So I don't know, unless they're making it a thin omnibus. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, Dom confirmed here. There will be
Yeah.
2 volumes. Awesome. Harvey says, I can confirm Nightwing will be out in 2025 or possible 2026. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Psycho Cleveland, as your former alias goes. Okay. So, yeah, Saga Deluxe 4. I really hope that comes out this year.
Yeah.
I feel like we should be finding out soon if they will release that this year. Hey, how are you? I apologize. I have no idea even where to begin with your username, but I hope you're doing well.
That's a good idea, Dom.
Second volume will most likely have the Titans run and Beast World event Taylor penned as well. Got it. Cool. Okay, what is your next comic?
My next one is it's actually a somewhat recent read, which is the I Hate Fairyland Deluxe Volume 3.
Awesome.
I mentioned in my top 5 indies of the year, I Hate Fairyland. I have the first 2 deluxe editions. I honestly didn't know that there was going to be a 3rd deluxe edition until today.
Okay.
But that being said, I'm going to pick it up because I absolutely loved that story. What a just treat to the brain, especially when you're trying to decompress after a long day or something. And it's just nonstop fun, action. The plot isn't super thought-provoking or heavy. The art isn't really heavy. I mean, it's very fluffy and flowy and colorful, and I just can't wait to get more. I cannot believe that there's more. I thought for sure it was over, but I guess not.
Yeah, I used to work in a comic shop, and I believe and this was 2022, 2021 maybe, and I remember it was ongoing. But by that point, there was already, I think, like two deluxes out. That's a series I read the first trade of recently, and I think it was like early December, I want to say, and I really enjoyed it. I thought like what you just said, just piggybacking off what you said. I mean, just a fun read. Doesn't take itself serious at all,
Yeah.
and it's just a fun read. And the artwork by Scotty Young, I love Scotty Young's artwork, and he does. I mean, he writes and draws it, so it's really great. And those deluxes are ones that I need to pick up for sure.
Yeah.
I have like the first trade paperback, and I got it at a discount, and so I need to pull the trigger eventually and buy the now 3 once there's 3 out, to read more of that because I really enjoyed that series. I thought it was just a lot of fun. Yeah, great pick. I didn't even know that was coming out either. Yeah,
Me either. And I love that they're like following the colorful theme of the hardcovers, because I want to say the first one's pink, second one's green, and the third
Yeah.
one's going to be yellow. So it's going to look really nice on the shelf. I have a DM variant cover on my volume 2, so it's black, but whatever. I mean, I like that everybody else is getting the colorful spines.
Sure. Awesome. Okay. Let's see. My next one, the Transformers Deluxe Book 1, I believe. I thought that was already out for some reason, but then I was looking at solicitations and whatnot, and not out yet. So that's one I will pick up. And mind you, I'm really not a Transformers fan. Like I grew up with like the Michael Bay series, movies, but
Mm-hmm.
I didn't grow up with an animated show or anything like that. So I'm really just buying it because I love Daniel Warren Johnson and I want his artwork. And I hear the story is really cool too. So I am excited to jump into that as somebody who really does not know much about Transformers other than they transform. So yeah, that will be cool. I love Daniel Warren Johnson, as so many people do. So
yeah. I found out about the deluxe editions after buying every volume 1 of the trades, so that sucked. But nonetheless, I'm picking up this deluxe too, because it's like you said, everybody loves Daniel Warren Johnson. His art in a deluxe edition format is, I mean, it's made for that. The little details,
absolutely.
little nuances in the art and the inking style, the momentum he puts in with his brush strokes. I mean, it's just breathtaking stuff.
Beautiful, for sure. Yeah. Let's see. Kane says, I grew up with the Transformers animated show and 3D show. Cool. Awesome. Oh, and then we got Fifth of Jack Gaming giving us his top 5 off his head. Number 5, Nightwing by Taylor. 4, Wonder Woman by Rucka. Deceased Omnibus. Oh, that's good. I haven't read that, but I heard a lot of good things about it. I think maybe I'll buy the trades, or one of the trades, and see if I like it before committing to that. And then we got Spider-Man by Bagley, volume 2 and 1. Oh wait, no, that's volume 2, and then 1, Thundercats: The Original Years, crowdfunded book. Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing a Fifth Jack. Looks like you have a lot to look forward to this year. Awesome. Okay, awesome. What's your next pick?
Well, I was going to say the Deceased Omnibus.
Oh, cool.
But I won't touch on that too much.
Is that by who's that by? Is that Tom Taylor too?
That's Tom Taylor. Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's Tom Taylor. That's DC's answer to Marvel Zombies, but done way better.
Hear. That's what I hear.
That being said, if you want to wait until the omnibuses come out, I can just send you my hardcovers if you want, and I'll get the omnibus. That's your call, though.
Okay. Well, I appreciate that offer. Yeah.
Because I care that comics get a good home. So as long as you read them, I don't really care. So
well, I appreciate that. Thank you.
But instead, since Fifth of Jack Gaming said Deceased already, I will go with, it's actually a manga.
Okay.
Which for the probably one other person that likes manga in here, but that's the Vagabond Definitive Edition that is being put out. Yeah, it is. I gotta tell you, it is
Okay.
Manga's version of Alex Ross. So that level of
Oh,
art in this book. Yeah.
okay. Let me look this up actually real quick. How do you spell it?
Vagabond. Yep.
Okay, I've definitely heard of this.
And it's by which I'm looking at it so I don't mispronounce it too bad. Takahiko Inoue. He also did of course I'm forgetting it now, Slam Dunk, which is a basketball
Oh, yep,
manga.
I've heard of that. Yep.
He also did Real, which is a wheelchair basketball manga. But it's pretty much a historical, I think there are some fictional elements, but it's a historical retelling of Musashi Miyamoto and his life as a samurai and how he became the best samurai, best duelist ever, and it kind of follows his
So
story.
is it nonfiction or is it like
I
historical
think
fiction?
it's historical fiction because I do
Okay,
think he takes some liberties. So that's the
sure.
only reason, but it is regarded as a um manga adaptation of the book Musashi, which is a
Interesting.
actual like not a biography because obviously he's not writing it, but um it's an actual historical book. So
Okay, got it.
I don't know. Short answer.
And okay, I'm sorry. What edition is coming out that you
The
said? Because
definitive edition.
okay, because it looks like is that like a hardcover kind of like Trigun?
Yes, it's going to
And
be a deluxe edition size. So just like those Berserk deluxe editions, Helsing, Trigun, Blade of the Immortal, there are paperback omnibuses which are absolutely beautiful. They do have
yeah,
connecting spines.
that's what I'm seeing.
Um, yeah, those are great additions. So you can read it in that format too. There's only one drawback of Vagabond, and that is that there is no ending. He actually
Ah,
left on a hiatus, didn't finish the manga, and hasn't come back since. So that's the only drawback. But the journey is incredible. Art is incredible. Highly
okay,
recommend it.
got it. I think as far as manga goes, I know I'm drawing a blank on the one that you talked about. Was it during our top read of the year? What was the one?
Blade of the Immortal.
Yes, I need to get that, and then I need to start reading Berserk. So I think those two I need to really start to read before I dive into any other manga. But that seems awesome. Yeah, I've seen the spines of the paperback a
Mhm.
bunch, so I know of them. So
Yeah,
awesome.
the big three in the manga world that most manga readers regard as like the greatest, obviously mileage may vary as a reader, but
Sure.
it's Berserk, Vinland, and Vagabond. Those are the three like must reads as far
Okay.
as mangas go. So I would at least recommend reading those, and then if you want to drop manga after that, so be it.
Got it. Yeah, the only other manga I own is I have some One Punch Man volumes, 1 through I think like 12 or 11. And I haven't read all those. I do like One Punch Man. I think that's just a fun comic or
Yeah,
manga.
yeah.
Um A Fifth of Jack Gaming. Berserk is so tempting to grab as my first manga. I've looked at it so many times. Yeah, I own the first volume. I got it on sale around it was before Black Friday. I don't know. September, I think I ordered it. And it was definitely kind of a impulse buy, but it was like $20 or something, pretty cheap for those nice library editions.
Yeah.
So I'm like, screw it, this is a series I've been meaning to buy forever. I'm just going to buy the first one. And I haven't started reading it yet just because I have other stuff to read, but I will definitely read that. And I think I said this on the best of 2024 stream where I said that I want to make sure I have like enough money to saved up to buy the rest of the volumes after I start reading the first, because I do not, if I really get into it, I do not want to have to wait till I like have money saved up to buy the rest.
Yeah.
So
So one thing, anybody that is going to read Berserk, this can go for you too, Labruski. Volumes 1 and 2 are the two breaking points of Berserk. So Volume 1
Okay.
is really, really slow. The art is not fully fleshed out.
Sure.
The
Okay.
mangaka Kentaro's still kind of working out the kinks. And in Volume 2, there's a very, very heinous act that happens to a character, which I'm not going to give away, which usually really, really messes up people. So those are the two that you kind of want to feel out first before
Got
doing
it.
the deep dive.
Got it. Okay. All right. Well, that's good to know then. Yeah. Okay. So I'll just have to start reading that at some point. Eventually. Okay, well, let's see. Let's see what my next one is. So we talked about Astro City, Saga, Transformers. There's a new indie book by Rick Remender coming out. And I'll be honest here, I'm not the biggest Rick Remender fan. Granted, I haven't read all his stuff, but the stuff I've read has been good, but hasn't like blown me away. But there's this one that seems wicked intriguing to me called Seasons. And I think it's like a horror indie book. I've seen a lot about it on social media, and I think it's coming out this Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken. So I may go to my LCS, which is really not close to me, but I may go there and pick it up if they have it, because I am interested in that one for sure.
Yeah.
And I
This is
don't know
a
much
single
about it.
issue, right?
Single issue, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. So it's they're starting a new series or whatever, and maybe I'll read it digitally. I'm not too sure, just to get a feel of it, because I imagine once that's or over or collected and 6 to 8 issues or whatever, they'll come out with a big Rick Remender oversized of it. And yeah, it just seems wicked cool. I can't remember the artist is on it. Let me try to look it up, because the artwork is really kind of what appeals to me, and just the character design seems
Yeah, I
like
think
my
you
type of.
tagged me in something on Instagram, I
I
believe.
did, yeah.
Yeah.
Paul Azaseta. I am butchering that. Zek. I don't know. I apologize,
see.
but and then Matthews Lobes looks like. And yeah, it's a horror indie comic.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he's the artist for Outcast by Robert Kirkman at
Okay.
over at Image. It's very good lord. I am having such a brain fart day. Who's the artist that's always on Ed Brubaker books?
Oof, I don't know.
The criminal books? Sean
Oh,
Phillips?
Sean Phillips.
Yeah, very Sean Phillips-esque. Very gritty,
Okay.
very scratchy and grim.
Got it. Okay. And I love Sean Phillips art, so
Yeah.
that seems awesome then. Cool.
I believe I forgot that. Oof. Rough day.
That's all right. When you said Ed Brubaker, I thought you were. I heard it as Rick Remender. I was thinking about Rick Remender, so I was like, I had no idea. Cool. All right. What is your next comic book?
My next comic book is going to be this is going to actually be a blind buy Marvel Omnibus, because I haven't read
Cool.
any of this, because I think it was a young A comic book, young adults, but don't
Okay.
quote me on that. But it's Strange Academy, the Omnibus.
Yeah.
So this is what the vibe I get from it is. It's Marvel's answer to Harry Potter. It seems like a
That's what I've heard too.
multitude of magical characters being taught by other magical Marvel characters, all kind of doing adventures and learning their craft. And I think it's really interesting. I'm a huge Harry Potter fan, not the books, but the movies. So I'm interested in checking out this. Very similar to Books of Magic, which is another title that I haven't read. So I want to kind of dive more into that witchy and magic realm of comics.
Awesome. Cool. Kane says Strange Academy looks such a fun read. I'll get that in trade or the Omni.
I hear the trades are tiny though.
They're smaller. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one. Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about. I don't know who said it. Maybe it was Omar. But yeah, I've heard a lot of good buzz around that. And I don't know. I don't think I'll buy that. And or read it really, unless you read it and say, "Look, I have to read it." Maybe I'll check it out. But cool. Yeah, it just seems like a fun. I think it's a YA book, but it'll be a fun light read that you can kind of just escape into, especially if you're a fan of the Harry Potter movies and stuff. So cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. And who writes that? Do you know?
Yeah, I haven't even read a single issue, so I have no clue.
Okay, got
The
it.
concept is what sold me more than any
The writer,
creative
yeah.
team. Yeah.
Cool. Oh yeah, Strange Academy. I will. Yeah, we'll have to keep an eye out for that one. And let's see, I have 4 more books that I want to talk about. One is actually a blind buy for me too. I know absolutely nothing about this. I just saw it on Amazon, and it seemed cool. And it's called The Black Kiss Omnibus by Howard. I don't know what his last name is. Howard something. I apologize. And yeah, it's blind buy for me. I really know nothing about it, but it seems like a cool indie title that I want to check out. So, here it is. Chaykin, is that how you say it? Howard Chaykin? That sounds right.
And is that put out by Image?
I don't believe so. Let me see.
Because that sounds like an interesting title.
Yeah, let me get it up here and I'll just read the description too. Howard Chaykin. Who is the publisher? Oh, it is Image. Cool. Yep, Image Comics.
Nice.
And collecting the first ever stop along the way. It's a series that came out in 1988. And there's a sequel, I guess, that came out in 2012.
Whoa.
Where's a description of the book, though? I cannot find one.
It's a mystery.
It's a mystery, I guess. I don't know. It just seemed really cool to me, so I'm going to check that one out for sure. It looks like a hard-boiled erotic noir. That's the description.
That's a Labruski book right there.
I guess so. Yeah, all right. Sign me up. And it looks like there's a long history of censorship with this book. So
interesting.
Awesome. Yeah, and it collects Black Kiss 1 through 12, Black Kiss 2, 1 through 6, and then there was also a one-shot Black Kiss Xmas. So, okay. All right. I'm definitely checking it out. It comes out July 1st of this year, coming in at $40, and it's a hardcover too, which is nice. So maybe I'll just read it blind. I'll just go in completely blind.
I say go for it.
I'm just gonna do it. Screw it. I got nothing to lose. All right. So yeah, that's a comic that I'm excited for, to say the least. So
nice. I got a pretty solid one here. I think that a lot of people aren't excited about, but I am, and that is Daredevil by Ann Nesenti, the omnibus, which is coming out finally.
Okay.
I think we're gonna have Daredevil collected pretty chronologically at this point. I want to say we're only going to be missing like a omnibus, maybe 2.
Wow.
And that will be all of Daredevil, at least from Frank Miller onwards, which is pretty cool to
There's
see.
So many Daredevil omnibuses out by far. Yeah. I have 2, the Mark Waid books right here. Read both those, enjoyed them. I don't know. I thought they were good. I don't know if I'll read them again though, to be honest with you. But it was solid, especially if you're a Daredevil fan. The 5th of Jack Gaming. I'm late to getting all the DD. Okay, awesome. And then Tyler Smith. Who doesn't want that Daredevil Omni? So much fun. Cool. So Tyler is excited as well.
Good.
Yeah, I just feel like there's so much Daredevil, and I'm just kind of burnt out on Daredevil, honestly. I'm just like,
this is probably my favorite run on Daredevil, which is a little bit of a hot take. but I remember Omar announcing this, and I commented like, "Awesome! I'm so happy that this is coming out," and I just got crapped on in the comments. So
Oh,
um,
geez.
I definitely think more people dislike it than like it. So
Okay.
I'm in the minority there, but it's really really fun. It's a little bit of a different run for Daredevil. It's not the typical like crime noir, gritty, dirty style of story that we always see applied to the character.
Got it. Okay. And then Fifth Jet Gaming, I think I'm one short from having everything collected, filled down the rabbit hole after reading Miller's run. Wow. Okay. How many Daredevil omnibuses are there of Fifth Jet Gaming? Yeah, I bet there's a lot. I know some of them are out of print. Like I did want the Ed Brubaker run at one point, but I believe that's out of print. I know Charles Soule's run is out of print. Um, I don't know if Frank Miller's is out of print though.
I think there's 13 omnibuses, counting the two very early omnibuses, but I think there's 13 in total. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong.
That's a lot
Yeah.
of Daredevil to read. And then we got the show coming out, which we'll talk about shows here in a second.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's just a lot of Daredevil. So if you're a Daredevil fan, I feel like you're eating good this year,
Yep.
especially.
Yep.
There's just a abundance of Daredevil content. But okay, awesome. So you have that to look forward to. Let's see. My next pick is an Image, or is it? No, it's Boom Studios. House of Slaughter Deluxe. Very excited for that. That's coming out, I think, in the springtime. I love Something's Killing the Children. It's probably my top 10 favorite series, I would say. So yeah, I'm excited to dive into that. I haven't read it, so I really don't know much about it, but I imagine I'll like it. It's set in the same world. So yeah, I'm excited for that.
Is that going to collect, what is it, issues like 10 through 13 or whatever that are not collected in the volume 2 of Something is Killing the Children?
That's a good question. I'm not too sure.
Because there
I would
was
hope
issues
so.
missing because
There
it's like a
was.
prequel or something.
Yep. I think it's volume 4, the trades, that's just completely excluded.
Right.
I don't know what issues that entails, but probably 10 to 13 or 14 or whatever. It would make sense if it's in there. Let me look it up and see. House of Slaughter Deluxe. Because I feel like
that would be pivotal to the House of Slaughter, her upbringing and stuff like that. So I mean, it would make sense. But
for sure, yeah, it would make complete sense. Yep. Wait, no. 1 through 5, 11 through. This is weird. Okay, because this one skips around too. It looks like this collects House of Slaughter 1 through 5, and then House of Slaughter 11 through 15, and then House of Slaughter 21 through 25. So that's weird. I don't know. It says it collects the complete Butcher saga. So I imagine volume 2 will fill in those gaps. That just seems like weird to me, but it may make sense. Yeah. And I wonder if we'll ever get that gap from the main series collected in oversized hardcovers. I hope.
I don't know. I mean, I really don't like the way he's collecting it personally, but I know there's some that do like it, but it's very weird. Yeah.
It's strange for sure. I'll still buy it though, just because I love the artwork and
same
kind of the world and whatnot. Yeah, so that's one. I have 2 more, and yeah, let's go to you. What's your next one?
I have so many, but I'll only do 2 more, so we're not here all day.
You can do a rapid fire too, just listing them all if you want. We can quickly touch on them. It's up to you.
We will go with We'll go with Wonder Woman by Greg Rucka, which is
Okay.
finally getting an omnibus. This was the golden age of DC Comics, in my opinion. This is the era of DC Comics where like Jeff Johns was on top of the world. You know, he's writing Green Lantern. We're leading up to Infinite Crisis. All of these things are taking place. And this is the Wonder Woman run that was taking place during that time.
That
So
era.
yeah, golden age of DC and some top tier comic books. And you get the exact same thing with Wonder Woman with Greg Rucka on it. I think Greg Rucka is a very, very acclaimed writer at this point. But he does add a lot to the Wonder Woman character, and he adds a lot of I don't know, confliction to her and the rest of the DC universe, which was very prevalent during that time as well. So really, really good stuff. I'm happy it's getting an omnibus. So many people wanted this for a very, very long time.
Cool. Greg Rucka, did he do Gotham Central?
Yes, I believe he did. Did he do the day shift? I want to say.
Not 100% sure on that, but yes, Brubaker and Rucka. Looks like a couple other writers were doing Gotham
Maybe
Central.
he did the night shift.
I feel like they switched at one, but like I feel like they switched after so many issues. That Brubaker and Rucka.
Maybe I haven't read it in a really long time, but I
Yeah.
thought it was one did night shift, one did day shift the entire time, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure. Okay, so Fifth of Jet Gaming says night shift Rucka did. He thinks. Okay. Yeah, you might be right. I should know. I read that series like about a year ago, actually. But I just don't remember. Okay, so Wonder Woman by Rucka. And now, does that collect the full run, or is that going to be multiple volumes?
I want to say it's volume 1. So I don't think so. I don't remember the exact amount of issues that his entire run was. So I don't 100% know, but I do think it's solicited as a volume 1, I believe.
Awesome. Okay, cool. Yeah, maybe I'll have to check out that run digitally and give that a go too. And maybe I'll go on like a Wonder Woman reading spree and just read a bunch of stuff.
Go for it. Yeah, I like that idea.
Okay, awesome. So my next one is the Red Sun Absolute that's coming out. Red Sun, I don't know if I talked about it on this show. I think I've talked about it in some of my videos. That was the comic that really got me into comics, to be honest with you. I took a class in college, a history of comics class, and that was awesome. And the first book we read was Superman Red Sun, and I just loved it. I read it like in a night, and I was like, okay, comics are sick. I got to read more stuff. So I might buy it just because of the sentimental value it has for me. I do like the story and I do like the artwork though. So Dama X, it's just Brubaker and Rucka on Gotham Central, Brubaker night shift, Rucka day shift. Awesome. Thank you for clarifying that. But yeah, Superman Red Sun. I think that's coming out in the springtime, I want to say. So I think that's an absolute I think I'll buy for sure.
Yeah. I really wanted to collect all the Superman absolutes, and that would be the only way I would dip into the absolutes is collecting my favorite DC character, but he's getting so many as of lately. I feel like at one point he had like 2, and now I feel like we're at like 5. So now it's a harder task to do.
He's got the Superman by Jeff Johns and Gary Frank, right?
Yep.
Which Dama Vex, I think Dama Vex mentioned that on one of his videos recently. I was watching, I think today, and he mentioned that. I think it was his favorite read of 2024 or something. That's something I really want to check out, just because I like Gary Frank's artwork a lot. He's got Superman for all seasons. I don't know. I don't have any other Superman books, really.
I think it is
All-Star Superman. So he's got 2,
All-Star
3,
Superman
4.
for all seasons.
Maybe that's it.
Jeff
4.
Johns.
Diamondbacks will know for sure. Let's see. DC will probably name his Rebirth one, which was 25 issues in an annual Wonder Woman Rebirth by Greg Rucka. Okay, got it. Interesting. But yeah, you're right. He does have some absolutes. So you own no absolutes? Is that right?
No absolutes.
Wow. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I have. I only have. I have 4: Batman Long Halloween, Hush, Day Tripper, and then Preacher 1, which I do. I don't think I'll get many more absolutes besides Red Sun, and then I do want to collect the rest of Preacher and absolutes, but I don't know about maybe Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. I would probably get an absolute. I really love that story and the artwork. But I don't know. I don't know any others that I would really get. Yeah, I know. Like
I could never justify the price for just a little bit taller of a book. That's why
it's a lot. But like Batman Hush, oh my god, Batman Hush and Absolute is just incredible. Okay, I think we have an answer. Don't forget the Superman for Tomorrow Absolute. Okay, got it. Interesting.
And the comment before the one you highlighted about Wonder Woman by Rucka. Oh yeah, Volume 1 was removed.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, all right. If hit the Jack, he's trying his best to dodge the Absolute train. I'm perfectly happy with Deluxe. Yeah, no, I mean, I don't think they're like a necessity by any means, you know. I love Preacher. I love that run. That's one of my favorite comic runs, and I do want to collect the other 2, but they are expensive, man. Those are like 125, maybe 150.
Yeah.
And it's a lot. A lot of them are out of print, like the Long Halloween, Hush, Day Tripper. Those are all out of print, I believe. Maybe Long Halloween's back in print. But they're expensive, but they're beautiful, let me tell you. I do kind of want to get the Superman by Jeff Johns and Gary Frank, though. I am tempted.
That's the one to get if you ask me. I love that content in there.
I am tempted for sure. But we'll see. Not anytime soon. I'll promise you that.
I do like that they've been making absolutes like larger page count wise, so it feels a little more worth it rather than 3 Jokers where what was it, 3 issues in a book and you're paying $125. It's like gut.
Yeah, no, yeah, I get that completely. Okay, I think it's your turn.
This is our last one, right?
Yeah. All right. Well, you can, like I said, you can just rapid fire list them all.
No, I'll keep it limited. We'll just I'll wrap it up with, which is one that I didn't know was a thing again. I think I watched Omar's video that he put out talking about 2025 releases, and I didn't know how they're going to collect this, but it's the TMNT Jason Aaron run, which I guess apparently is being collected in library editions, large hardcover, beautiful editions pretty much. And I think that is so awesome. And Jason Aaron, I've read 3 of his issues. I've read the Raph, Mikey. I can't remember what the third one was, but I read 3 of his issues of his run that's going right now. Really, really good. And I think these library editions are going to be like every library edition, which is just beautiful and perfect. That's my favorite format in the collected editions world. So I'm really excited to see what these look like and kind of hold it in my hand and see actually what it is, how many issues are collected, which I'm sure Omar went over, but I didn't retain it. But yeah, Jason Aaron's run is pretty awesome if anybody's reading that. I think that's something worth reading right now.
Who's the publisher? Who's putting it out?
That IDW?
Okay.
I
So
think.
is that going to be like the same size as the other runs, or is it going to be like the Dark Horse library editions where they're huge?
I would assume they're like Dark Horse library editions, like larger. Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
In
Library edition
IDW
means
terms.
regular, deluxe, hardcover, and IDW terms.
Okay.
Awesome. Thank you for clarifying that. Okay, cool. Yeah, that. Oh, and then we also issues 1 through 6 going to be in volume 1. Cool.
Is it going to have a ribbon, Dom? That's all I want to know. Will it have a ribbon?
A ribbon?
That's what I want.
Okay. Hopefully. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah, I have to kind of dive into Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles because I do like the source material a lot. You know, I grew up watching the old movies from like the 80s and whatnot. And I do want to kind of dive into some of those comics. I want to read The Last Ronin. There's a video game coming out for The Last Ronin, which is awesome. So I will have to do that eventually. But is this a good place to start reading if I want to buy this?
I would say so. I mean, it's a new run, new creative team. He actually has a different artist on each of the first 4 issues, writing issues about each of the 4 turtles, and then a actual ongoing artist joins, which I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but yeah, I think it's a place to start. It's a new run. He's, telling a new story. He's going into his own kind of wheelhouse of Jason Aaron isms when it comes to the medium of comics. So
Yeah.
I think it's a good place to start overall.
Cool. Awesome. All right. Yeah. Maybe I'll be on the lookout for that when that comes out. Okay. Cool. And Dom Vac said you will most likely get your ribbon. So you're good.
Hell yeah.
All right. My last book, I have Birthright Book 2. Now, I got Birthright for Christmas, the deluxe. I haven't read it yet. So I guess if I read it and I hate it, I won't be excited for it. But I have read the first issue and I enjoyed it, and I know kind of the premise of the story and whatnot. So I can't imagine I won't like it. So I will be buying the book 2 of that to have the full collection, full run of that. So yeah, those are my most anticipated comics of the year so far.
Those Birthrights are beautiful books. They're like holy Bibles. They're so awesome. And I say there because I assume volume 2 will be the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah.
The spine. Just beautiful. Yeah. So this is a series I think I'll start reading it around the time the second one's going to come out, like maybe a week or 2 before it comes out. That way, if I enjoy it, I can just buy the new one.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's awesome. And let's see. Okay, my mom's a librarian. Library editions usually have better binding and materials to withstand more use. Awesome. I think I wonder if that holds true with comics though, because I feel like they just kind of use it as a marketing, like a marketing ploy,
Yeah, I mean,
to have it in a bigger format. But thank you for the information, Mom. I appreciate that.
It's one of those things where it's like, what is it? Like, for example, omnibuses. Yeah. We see omnibuses that collect like 5 issues and it's labeled an omnibus. So it's like they just kind of slap these names on things and just call it what it is.
For sure. Okay, why don't we get into movies? Or do you want to do TV shows first?
I have more TV shows than movies, so maybe movies just to get it through and over.
Let's do movies. I'm not super excited for movies this year, to be honest. But why don't you go ahead with your first pick?
Okay, number 1, which I would assume is probably on your list. Maybe I'm wrong, but it's Superman.
Yeah.
super pumped for Superman. Teaser trailer just dropped. What?
2 weeks ago, something like that.
2 weeks ago. Yeah, I was going to say that. And it looks phenomenal. Obviously, there's mixed reactions to it, but I am a fan of it. I'm pumped for it. I can't wait for James Gunn's adaptation of Superman, and I want to see what his direction is going to be. That's going to be the movie that will make or break his DC universe. So I'm really excited for it.
I am too. That's on my list as well. I don't understand like I wouldn't say there's a mixed reaction, but there are naysayers to the trailer who say, "Oh, it looks horrible," and I'm like, I just don't understand it. Like, you must have your blinders on, man. That looks incredible. Like, yeah, and I know we talked about it on the show, and I have an issue more with like the teaser trailer. Like, I want it to be a full trailer, but from everything I saw, I'm like, oh, this is going to be cool. Like, I'm very excited for it. It looks awesome. I've rewatched the trailer a couple times now. And the suit, I love. I'm excited for the actor, David Cornsweet. I believe that's how you say it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to be one of the best movies of the year. I really do. I think it's going to live up to the hype. James Gunn has really not disappointed me with the comic book movies before, so I can't imagine he'll start now. I think he has a pretty good understanding of Superman and that character, and he knows how to do fan service to a certain degree, but not have it necessarily hurt the plot or hurt the movie in any way. So I think there will be elements of fan service, but I think overall we're going to get an amazing Superman story.
Yes,
and I cannot wait for that. I really can't wait. So I'm very excited. I've really fallen in love with the suit too. I just love that suit so much. So yes, I'm very excited for that. Coming out, I think in July. I want to say.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, June or July. Yeah. So that's going to be awesome. That's going to be a fun movie to talk about when that comes out, for sure.
I agree. Yeah, movie of the year, and if not critically acclaimed, it will at least be something being talked about for all of 2025 in some form or fashion, I'm sure.
100%. Yeah, no, I agree. And I do find it interesting how I'm so much more excited for DC stuff now than Marvel stuff. Yeah, and I don't know, maybe that's just because I'm sick of Marvel, or I want to say it's that, because another movie on my list is Fantastic Four. So I'm sick of the Marvel tropes, I guess. Like, I don't go into a Marvel movie nowadays and think this is going to be anything original. I think it's just going to it's going to feel like a studio made, where it's, a bunch of screenwriters, and it's not going to have any original elements, I guess, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I do have hopes for Fantastic Four. I think at least it will be a fun movie with cool characters. So I don't think it will be as good as Superman, though, if I had to predict. No. But, and I imagine that's on your list too.
No, it actually is not.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. I said, I held myself really, really tight.
Okay.
And I only put comics and movies and shows that I'm like, day one, I'm watching, I'm in there, here's my money, give me the product. So
sure,
I did not put it on my movies list.
Okay. All right. What's your next movie?
My next movie is a MCU movie, but it is Captain America: Brave New World.
Okay, that's coming out soon. I think February or March.
I want to say it is February, but I don't 100% know. My wife books all of my movie tickets, so she's my calendar. But yeah, I'm a Captain America fanboy. Yeah. I love Superman. I love Captain America. This is going to be a day one watch for me. I think it looks incredible. I think it's back to that dark tone that we saw applied to pretty much all the other Captain America movies featuring Steve Rogers. I like Sam Wilson as a character. I love mantle swaps and the passing on of a mantle so that mantle lives on. I'm in the minority there. I'm well aware of that, but I can't wait. And Red Hulk making an appearance in live action. Who would have thought we got to this point? But here we are. And I'm really excited to see what they do with Red Hulk being introduced in a Captain America movie rather than a Hulk movie. So I'm going to see
Sure.
what they do with that.
Okay. Yeah, I honestly I imagine we'll want to talk about it on the show, so I'll definitely see it. But if it wasn't for the show, I don't know if I'd go out and see it. I don't like Sam Wilson as a character. I do like Captain America. I like Steve Rogers and I like Chris Evans a lot. But I don't know. To be totally honest, though, I didn't love the Winter Soldier, and I know I'm very much in the minority there. I thought Civil War was pretty good, but it seems like if it seemed like more of a sequel to Winter Soldier, having being like a government corrupt government type of story, So I don't know if I don't know. It just doesn't appeal to me a whole bunch, to be honest. But
Fair.
I do understand your excitement, because I know you are a big Captain America fan. Red Hulk's cool. I mean, Harrison Ford's always good. So I will be excited to kind of see that in live action. But other than that, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just,
That's fair.
But I will see it for the show for sure. And who knows? Maybe I'll end up really liking it. I don't know.
I got high hopes, very similar to Superman. I don't know. I just have a good feeling in the pit of my stomach about it, and that's why I just can't help but get excited about it. And maybe it's just my biases. I'm just a Captain America fan, so I'm blinded. But I'm pumped. I cannot wait.
Awesome. Well, that's exciting for me that you're excited. I like that. Okay, so I have only one more movie that I'm excited for this year, and it's How to Train Your Dragon.
Ooh.
I really want to rewatch the old movies because I haven't seen them in years. But I remember going to the movies and watching the first one and just loving it. And then I ended up I read maybe the first or second book or something. So I really like the franchise as a whole, and I do want to revisit those animated movies. Maybe we can do that before the new one, the week before the new one comes out or something. And the trailer came out and I said, it looks pretty good. I want to see it. It looks good to me. So I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I would have added that to my list if I remembered. That's one I'm really excited about also. I love How to Train Your Dragon. I mean, that might be something we have to list out, like favorite Pixar Disney movies, but that may be one of my favorite, if not my favorite. But yeah, the live action, I mean, the trailer is incredible. It's so well done. So that's another one I think is going to be really, really good. So I'm on board. I would add that to my list for sure.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah. And I think I imagine that's coming out in the summer too. So we can, we'll plan around that so we can watch the old ones and see the new one. But yeah, it looks awesome. The cast looks good. And I think I remember now when the trailer came out, you posted it on your Instagram story. And I saw that and I was like, oh shit, the trailer's out. So you actually introduced me to the live action trailer. So thank you for that.
No problem.
Kane says, I feel like it's too soon for a new How to Train Your Dragon live action movie. Well, I mean, it's the first live action How to Train Your Dragon, I believe, right?
I think he's just saying the animated movies are still fresh in our mouth and we're getting a live action.
I don't know. I don't think it's too soon. I mean, it's it's a popular franchise, so
yeah.
And Kane says they'll see it. Awesome, cool. Oh, just when it releases on Blu-ray. Okay, so when we talk spoilers on the show, you may have to tune out for that one then. Awesome. Do you have any other movies, or is that it?
Yes, I saved the best for last. This is probably the movie that I'm the most excited about, even over Superman and Captain America. and this is probably going to come way out of left field, but
All
I
right,
don't
let's
think
hear it.
anybody will expect this. 28 years later.
Okay. All right. No, I was thinking about putting that on my list actually because, well, I haven't seen the sequel. 28
Oh,
weeks
weeks.
later.
It's
Yeah,
so good.
I've only seen the original, which I really enjoyed. So I am excited. We can talk about this on the show too because
Yeah.
this is a movie I want to see. So, okay, good, Ken. You don't mind being spoiled. Cool. Yeah, because it does look good. The trailer, I was like, okay, all right, I'm
It
in.
looks so. I
I'm in.
literally got chills watching that trailer, and
Really,
the first one is a masterpiece. I mean, I think it's
this
like,
one's great.
isn't it shot like with just like a little camera or something? Like
I
it's,
believe so. Yeah,
yeah,
it's
super low budget.
super low budget. Yeah,
Yeah, it's so good. Just the cinematography and everything in that movie, from like,
yeah.
the infected behind the window with the glowing red eyes, and just the camera real low during like, fast-paced scenes to kind of keep you on edge. So incredible. And then 28 weeks later, I do recommend watching. It
Okay,
is in a very different vein from the first movie. A lot more action and survival, but it keeps you on the edge of your seat again. I mean, you can watch 28 days later, 28 weeks later, and you're going to be drenched in sweat by the end of both those movies because it is that intense.
okay.
There is one scene in 28 weeks later which is a little corny, which is the helicopter scene. You'll know when you watch it, but everything else is perfect.
When's that coming out? Is that coming out next Halloweenish in October?
I want to say, I think it comes out when another big movie comes out, if I'm remembering correctly. I can look it up real quick because I think
And then
it coincides with a blockbuster.
and that's like a anthology, right? So each installment's like a different story, but set in the same like zombie world, right?
It's June 2025 is when it's coming out.
Okay.
Yeah, so big time for movies. So it's going to have a lot of competitors, I'm sure, in the box office. But
Yep.
yeah, it's kind of like an anthology. There is the reappearance of is it Cillian Murphy?
Cillian, I believe.
Cillian Murphy.
Could be
He's
Cillian.
turning back up in 28 years later. So he starred in 28 Days Later as his first film ever, and he's actually going to be in 28 years later also, which is really cool.
Awesome. Yeah, I remember watching 28 Days Later as a kid. Only like I think at the scene where I think it's like the dad of like you know who I'm talking about, like the older guy who has a daughter
And he
in
gets
the first
infected.
one. Yeah, by like
A
a
crow.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so I remember watching that when I was like a little kid, and just that moment, like I don't think I saw the whole movie, just like that scene. And I always wondered where that scene was from. And then when I watched 28 Days Later, I don't know, probably maybe during COVID or something, which is actually not a great time to watch it. But I was like, oh my God, that's where that scene's from. Okay, cool. And I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a great movie. And if I remember correctly, the zombies were very menacing. Like didn't they like run wicked fast? Like they were not your stereotypical slow walking zombies, right?
Yeah. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
not ghouls, but they're still zombies, but they're more considered like rage zombies. They get imbued with like rage and rabies and just want to like beat the crap out of you, pretty much.
Yeah. So I like the zombies in that film are very menacing. So I am excited to well, I'll watch 28 weeks later and then 28 years later.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about that on the show because that will be a lot of fun. Cool. Okay, great. So those are our top most anticipated movies of the year. I have let's see, 5 TV shows that I'm excited for.
I have 4.
Okay, so why don't I'll start and then I'll end. Yeah. Let me see. I'm going to try to save. Okay, I'll mention the first show, which I'm least excited for, because honestly, I don't know if I'll watch it this year. It's coming out this year though, and it's Yellow Jackets season 3. Have you seen the Yellow Jackets?
No.
The first season's on Netflix. I don't know why the second is. I had to rent it, but
Let me add it to my list.
really good first season. Second season is okay, but the first season is just fantastic. So I would highly recommend you check that one out. That one's about it jumps back from present day to like the 90s, and in the 90s it follows a soccer team, a girls' high school soccer team that gets into a plane crash on their way to like nationals or whatever, some tournaments, and they get stranded in the wilderness. And so it's kind of like Lord of the Flies a little bit,
Yeah.
but then it cuts to present day where we follow some of them, so we know right off the bat that they survive. We're following them in present day, older versions of the same characters, and how that event has impacted their adult lives. So it's just a
Interesting.
super, super good suspenseful show, and I highly recommend it. I think I don't know, the second season, like I said, was a little iffy at times. I enjoyed it overall, but I do recommend the first season at least.
Second season follows the same characters, or
Same characters. Yep.
okay.
And well, I won't get it introduces new characters and whatnot, and some of the plot lines I wasn't crazy about, but I overall I was invested enough in the characters to continue watching it. So I will definitely watch season 3, but I don't know. I don't think I'll watch it as it airs, just because I usually don't keep up with shows as they air. But that's my first show of 2025 that I'm looking forward to.
Well, I added that to my list.
Cool. Yeah, it's on Netflix. The first season's on Netflix. Really strong first season. Really strong.
Okay. My first show is going to be one that we've technically been watching, but it's Invincible season 3.
Okay.
Don't need any introduction on that, I don't think. I don't know the month that it comes out, but I want to say it's kind of soon. I'm sure you probably know better than I do.
I actually have not seen the second season.
Okay, so I will tread carefully then.
I will. We could watch that though. I mean, I have been meaning to watch the second season. I just haven't gotten around to it. So when that does come out, yeah, let's talk about that. We'll watch usually they release those like the first 3 episodes or first 2 usually. So that would be a fun one. I love the comic too.
It is released early in the year, February 6th, 2025. Yep. There you go. Oh. Okay. Thank you, Adam. And this is going to be my favorite era of Invincible. This is blue suit era Invincible, but this is where it really, really starts to get hot and brutal and really, really just crazy. If you thought, Omni-Man was crazy, if you thought the Vultramites attacking Omni-Man and Mark was crazy, you are in for a lot of blood and action and possible deaths, maybe not, maybe some returns of some characters, treading super careful there, but great stuff. This is my favorite part of Invincible that we're about to get. So
cool. Yeah, I have read the entire run of the comics. I have the 3 compendiums down there. I don't think you guys can see that, but great series. I really enjoyed the run, and I did enjoy the first season. So I don't know why I haven't really gotten around to the second season yet. But I will make sure maybe I'll watch that soon because I do need kind of something to watch. I'm out of shows right now, so I'll restart the first season and watch this new one. But cool. All right, Invincible season 3, and from my understanding, because there was a big delay between season 1 and 2, but they made season 2 and 3 kind of together back to back because season 2 came out last year. And now season 3 is coming out this year. So I think there may be another big break between 3 and 4, but we'll see. We'll see. But awesome. Okay. Invincible season 3. Cool. Let's see which one I'm. Okay. This is one that I'm excited for. It's a DC show, Peacemaker season 2, which I believe is coming out in like August. I want to say, I think it's after Superman, I believe.
Mhm.
And yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed the first season. I think it's probably going to be more the same. I'm excited to see how this kind of fits in with the new DCU, how they explain that. And because
Yeah.
at the end of the first season, you know, there was the Justice League from the DCEU, right? So I wonder if they'll explain that away or maybe just I don't know. We'll see. But that is something I will watch week to week. Just because I know James Gunn, I think he wrote it, or at least some of the episodes, and probably directed some of them. And I know it's probably going to be pretty solid. So I'm excited for that. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm excited to see what he does with the whole Justice League scene. I think he's going to make fun of himself and kind of make fun of that taking place. I think he's going to like go at it head on and just see what happens.
I imagine I would not be surprised if he does something like that.
Yeah.
Kevin Davis, Peacemaker was just okay. Show grade C minus. I would disagree. I would say for me, probably like a B. I think probably like 8 out of 10, 7.5 out of 10. I would say.
Yeah, I'd probably say B minus. That's what I'd probably throw on.
I was surprised at how much I enjoyed the first season. I really was.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially the intro song and dance. I mean, that kind of blew up. Let's see. Warner Bros. Is struggling right now. Even if James Gunn makes a good Superman film, that's I don't know, man. I don't know. Warner Brothers is struggling. Yeah, I'm not too sure. I guess I don't keep up too much with Warner Brothers, but I think James Gunn's Superman will be good. Fifth of Jack, I'm still waiting to see David from. Oh, okay, awesome. Okay, cool. All right, so Peacemaker season 2. Yeah, I think that would be a lot of fun. What's your next one?
Next up, we have probably the show that I know the least about, which is the Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man.
Yeah, coming out soon.
Yeah, it's coming out soon. Know nothing about it. I think I saw some animated trailers or something like that.
Just got released. I think
Yeah.
last week. Yeah.
Yeah, but I haven't really watched it.
Okay.
I'm just kind of on board. It's Spider-Man, so I think I'm gonna more than likely probably enjoy it. But I'm excited about it still. I'm gonna be there day one watching the first episode. But I don't know, is this in the MCU?
I don't believe so. I think it's separate, technically.
Okay.
I think it's like its own universe thing. Like I think they're taking some inspirations from the MCU, and then I think also like Ultimate Spider-Man and stuff, but just kind of making its own show, which I'm okay with. I'm okay with that completely. So yeah, I feel like when shows and TV, when movies release their trailers closer to the release date, they tend not to have a whole lot of faith in the product that's coming out. I feel like we've seen that quite a few times with different properties here and there. But yeah, we'll talk about that. We'll watch it and then we'll talk about it on the show. The trailer was like, I don't know, but it is Spider-Man, so I'll definitely watch it. Kevin Davis, Daredevil Born Again is coming out. White Lotus season 3. I did not know that. The Last of Us season 2. That's on my list. That's one of them that I'm excited for. Kane, the Spider-Man cartoon is set in another universe. It's technically in the Marvel universe as a whole, just not in the MCU's 616. Got it. Okay. Okay. In what regards are you guys on the same wavelength?
As far as Spider-Man, I would assume.
Kevin Davis, Star Wars Andor season 2. Yes, that's right. To add, it's part of the multiverse saga. Oh, gross. I don't like that.
Yeah. I didn't want you to use that word. Now Labruski's out.
Yeah, right. Yeah. No, thanks. I'll still watch it. We can watch it and talk about it for sure. But yes. Okay. So Spider-Man freshman year. I think that's what it's called, right?
I think so. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I saw the trailer. The animation is like, it's more of kind of like what if animation, which I'm not crazy about, but I'm willing to give it a shot still.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
so we'll see. Okay. My next one, I've already mentioned Last of Us season 2. Did you watch season 1?
Well, before you even go into this is on my list also. This was the
Oh.
one I was building up to. This is what I'm the most excited about for the year.
I ruined it. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
Well, at least we're on the same wavelength as far as that,
Yep.
because I'm very excited, and it's coming out I think in April or May, so very soon. We'll be sure to talk about this one on the show as well, because we'll both be watching it for sure. So yeah, I'm very excited for it. I like the video game.
I was going to ask that.
I imagine you played the video games.
Oh yeah.
What do you think about the second one? Are you a fan? Are you not?
The video game?
Yeah, the second one. Yeah.
I thought it was better than the first one.
You thought it was better?
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. I thought. I don't know what I thought. I really don't. I don't like it as much as the first one. I like the first one a lot more.
Oh.
I guess without going into spoilers, the second one is just a gut punch through and through.
That's why it's great, man.
It's not a satisfying story in any regard. In any regard, it's like not satisfying at all. And that's kind of the point, that kind of goes along with the theme and whatnot. I feel like, about revenge and all that. So I can recognize what they were doing, but from a story standpoint and from, a standpoint as a fan, I was not on board with it. I had a lot of fun playing it. I will say that. I mean, the graphics are just jaw dropping. The action's a lot of fun.
You're jaw dropping. You're ripping your jaws off.
jaw dropping. Yeah. No. Yeah. So I don't know. Very well made video game. Just the story was like, oh my god.
Okay. Now, you had your turn to vent. Now it's my turn to gush about Last of Us Part 2.
Okay.
It is perfection. The character switch that takes place there, where you get to find out that everyone is a villain in someone's story, where you are literally during the entire first half, I mean, trying to tread carefully, killing like people that are important people and loved people and animals, and I mean, it is just so incredible. And then the cherry on top, the lesson that they're teaching, which is revenge isn't worth it, forgiveness is the route to go to finally get that revenge in your hands and to walk away from it, because it's what's best for not only you but your family. Oh my gosh, I mean, that game from beginning, which has some major deaths and scenes take place there. You know what I'm referencing there.
Yeah.
To the middle of the game where that character switch takes place. And then all the deaths in between. Holy crap. I mean, it is just, that is a borderline perfect video game in my scaling.
I don't know if I agree. I think in some regards, it really is top notch. Like I said, the graphics are, I still don't think we've seen better graphics in video games. Maybe like Red Dead 2, but I mean, The Last of Us Part 2 came out after. So I really think like just the graphics are out of this world. The action and whatnot is just fantastic. 10 out of 10. But I do think, I do understand exactly what you said. I can recognize that it's successful in its storytelling in some regards, but that it doesn't make it fun,
No, it's not.
Which, so I don't know. I'm very much torn and have been ever since I played it, because I think with one character in particular, the most controversial character in that game, Abby, not
Mhm.
going into spoilers, if you like her, then you'll like the video game. If you don't like that character, which I think is very valid that you don't like that character without going into spoilers, you're gonna probably not like that video game too much, you know. So I don't know. We'll see. I honestly think they're gonna stick with that story. Neil Druckmann, the creator of both the video game and I think he produces the show. I don't know if he writes it, but he said they're not straying away from it just because fans don't like the second video game. They're going to stick to the story.
Good.
I respect it. I respect it a whole lot. And maybe in a TV show in that format, in that medium, it may be able to work better because I do feel like when you're playing a video game, you do have a certain additional emotional like attachment to the characters you're playing as because you're literally controlling the character. Whereas a TV show, you're more just a watcher. So I do feel like the stings and the gut punches are not going to be as brutal as the video game.
I hope they are. I'm
Yeah.
ready for it.
The first season was very much brutal in a lot of ways. So I would not be surprised if it's just as brutal as the video game.
Yeah.
But it will be interesting to see where they go with if they do a season 3. You know, I mean, there's no part 3 out of the video game. It's not announced. I know it's not announced. I don't know if they're working on it. So it'll be interesting to see where the story goes after and how they deal with that. Whether they're gonna, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see
Yeah.
if there will be a Last of Us Part 3 video game that comes out in between 2 and 3 seasons. If they even do a third season, who knows? I am excited for that one though, for sure.
Yeah. My only reservations with the show when it was first announced is when they announced that part 1 was going to be season 1 and part 2 is going to be season 2.
Yeah.
Because I felt like the video game, both parts 1 and 2, played like 2 halves. And I thought that would be perfect for 2 seasons each video game. But I guess they obviously disagreed. But it was still well done. I'm not mad at it. It was just, I was like, what?
Where's the cutoff for you in the first one? Because I do see that with the second one for sure, where they could do 2 seasons. Because I think the second video game is a lot longer, and there's clearly there's a divide between the 2 halves of the video game. You know, the second one. The first one, where's that divide for you? Where you think they could have?
So the entire game covers all 4 seasons. So after the first 2 seasons, you get into winter, where you play as Ellie after the injury that takes place. Not trying to spoil anything. And then that would be the second half.
So, okay. So after, okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So pretty much it would play as like the first 2 seasons plus where Joel and Ellie don't like each other. And then the second half would be the next 2 seasons where Ellie and Joel start liking each other. And then it would continue from that point.
Interesting. Yeah. I mean, I think they could have done that, but I think the first season's super solid, very tight knit.
I agree.
Yeah. So they probably could have watered it down, but I worry that maybe that would have affected the story overall.
Yeah, it does come from a selfish place. A selfish place, me saying that, because I just wanted more, like 4 seasons means, 4 seasons, So.
Yeah. The first season too, man, I had so much anxiety watching, especially the first episode. I don't know why. I remember when I watched it too. I woke up from a nap and I knew it was coming out. So, and I don't really take naps too often, but when I do, we're totally going on a separate thing, but whatever. I get very anxious sometimes when I wake up from a nap, especially if I fall asleep in the day and then wake up when it's like night out. It just feels like a different day to me, and it just throws me off. And so for whatever reason, that day when the first episode was coming out, I woke up from a nap and I was just super anxious and whatnot. And I watched that first episode, man. And I mean, the whole first episode is just anxiety inducing on its own, I would argue, so it just amplified the experience for me a bit, which I think lingered for the rest of the season. But with that said, I really enjoyed the first season. I thought it was just fantastic. I love the casting of Pedro Pascal and oh my gosh, I can't remember the actor's name who played Ellie.
No, I can't remember either.
Yeah, I can't remember. She amazing job, truly. So across the board, I have complete faith. Like I really can't think of a single thing wrong with that first season. Like I thought it was some of the best television I've ever watched, truly. Yeah. So I have very high hopes for the second season, and I'm excited to talk about that on the show. When's that coming out? Do we know? I know we said it. I think it's April.
Yeah.
Okay, and then let's see. Fifth of Jack Gaming has the show he's excited for. I think the series I'm sure is not on your list. Is Shifting Gears. It's a new Tim Allen comedy with Kat Dennison, Sean William Scott as cast members. Okay, I actually did see that trailer somewhere of Shifting Gears, that new sitcom with Tim Allen. Not my type of show, but if you're into it all.
Early 2025. That's all I've found so far.
So no official release date. There's no trailer out either then.
No.
Yeah. So well, I imagine if it's coming out this year, unless it gets delayed, the trailer should be soon. I don't know.
I think there's like a teaser, isn't there?
There could be. I think you're right, but I think it was like an HBO or a Max trailer, and they released some footage of a bunch of new shows in there. And The Last of Us season 2 was in there.
Yep.
Okay, I have 2 more shows. How many do you have?
Let me get my list up. I think I only have one more because Last of Us was on my list.
Okay. All right, so I'll talk about I'm very much excited for this show. The second season of Severance, an Apple TV show. Have you seen Severance? It's with
No.
Adam Scott and the guy
add
who
it to the list.
The guy who plays Carmine Falcone in the Batman. I can't remember his name right now. He's in the Big Lebowski. He's in the show. Oh my gosh, who else? There was a famous actor in it, and Christopher Walken is in the first season.
Oh, what's her name from the redhead from is that her? No, that's not her. Just kidding.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I don't know what else she's been in.
Here we go. Adam Scott,
Yeah.
Britt Lauer, John Turturro, Zach Cherry, Christopher Walken. Those are all the memorable names, at least.
There's another actress too, and that's really good, but I can't remember who it is right now.
Oh, Jen Tulloch with the poofy hair.
Let me see. Is she an older actress?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's who it is then. Let's see. No, I'm thinking of Patricia Arquette.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
She's great. Yeah, she's great. Anyhow, the show, I'll kind of give you the elevator pitch. There's this new work program, you can call it, where if you don't want to mentally be at work, there's this procedure that can be done where you create a separate mind essentially in your brain, where once you go to work, you go up the elevator and there's a switch that happens that switches to your work mind. And that's separate from, so it's like 2 personalities essentially. And I'm doing a really bad job explaining this, but essentially, if you don't want to be at work, you can have this procedure done where you split your personality essentially, where your work personality goes into work and does all the mundane work and really boring stuff. And then once you go down this elevator, it switches back to your regular self. So you just don't remember being at work and whatnot. It sounds like it's kind of nice, but it's
Yeah.
just super good. Kind of, I guess it's kind of futuristic a little bit, but I watched that in 2023. And by that point, the whole season was out and I was just obsessed with it. I loved it. Adam Scott is so good in it. And yeah, I really apologize for doing a just horrible job explaining the show. But let me read it off. So Mark, which is Adam Scott's character, Mark leads a team of office workers whose memories have been surgically divided between their work and personal lives. When a mysterious colleague appears outside of work, it begins a journey to discover the truth about their jobs. So it's just super good. It really is amazing.
Now, is it a drama or
drama? Yeah.
Okay.
Drama, kind of thriller. No, I guess it's not really a thriller. It is definitely a drama though, with like a mystery. Just super good. I highly recommend it. I really do. Add that. I would say watch that before like Yellow Jackets. I bump that up your list, man. It's not a very long watch either. You know, I think there's like 8 episodes, each half an hour. It's really nothing crazy.
Interesting. Yeah, I've never even heard of that. So
good.
That's definitely
Apple
on the
TV.
list.
Apple TV. Yeah. All right. What's your last show?
All right. My last one is Daredevil Born Again, which someone already said in the chat.
I think Kevin Davis, I think it was. Yeah.
Yeah. This is, I mean, I loved the Daredevil Netflix show. This is going to be the MCU's take. I saw a trailer, which was 100% pirated. Somebody was recording it, but I saw a full-length trailer that was online. My brother sent me like a weird Twitter link, and I was able to watch all of it and everything like that. So, really, really awesome. Big fan of John Berthenol. Big fan of
Charlie Cox.
Yeah, I was gonna say. As Matt Murdock, absolutely knocks it out of the park. Kingpin, action, adult oriented and adult focused rather than, more of a kiddie Disney Marvel show. I'm so pumped to not only revisit that style of show, but also just see where they're going to go with the Daredevil character, because I have some predictions, but I don't know, what exactly is going to happen, especially with, characters like Punisher appearing in it, where we don't know what size of role he's going to play in the series.
Yeah. That's a show I'll watch it. I imagine we'll want to talk about it on this show. But I'm not very excited for it, to be honest with you. I worry it's going to be more the same that we've seen from Netflix. And I love the Netflix show. Don't get me wrong, especially the final season. I just thought it was perfect.
Yeah. So
I worry. And I feel like even season 3 and then season 1 are similar in a lot of ways, where Kingpin's, the big bad of that villain.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, he's the big bad of the show. So it's like, okay, it seems like that's what they're doing again. And it's like, I'm getting tired of it. I'm getting tired of it. So I don't know. I don't have high hopes for it, but I'll still watch it.
I think Marvel's doing the Marvel thing, and a lot is being hidden from us. I think, and I could obviously be 100% wrong, but I think
you might be right.
When we watch it, I think there's going to be a lot more players that are going to play a big role in the story, especially villain wise. But that's my prediction. I don't know, but we'll see.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I'll definitely watch it. I like all the actors. Charlie Cox is Daredevil, amazing. I like Foggy and then Paige. Is that her name?
Mm-hmm.
I like those 2 actors. So I'm excited to see some of the cast from the Netflix show come back. And I do hope we get some of that grittiness that was with the Netflix show, because I do think I thought that show was great. I really do. Awesome. Okay, Daredevil, Born Again. All right, we got my mom. Severance season 1 just came out on DVD. You can probably borrow it at your public library. Awesome. There you go, Tyler. I imagine you have a public library near you. You can maybe rent Severance season 1.
No, I do.
Okay, awesome. So I have one more show I want to talk about,
Okay.
and it is a comic adaptation. Can you guess what it is?
Criminal.
Yes. How do you know? That is, I cannot wait for this show. I am so excited for it. It's coming out on Amazon Prime. I think it's a great premise for a show. I think if they do each like trade or story arc, like Coward is the first one, I believe, that could easily be a season 1, and then each season is just an anthology. So I think it works as a TV show, and I have strong hopes for it. It's got a pretty good cast so far.
That's what I was gonna say. Let me find it.
And I'm drawing a blank. Amelia Clark, I believe, is in it. Charlie Hunnam. Maybe Amelia Clark's not in it. I thought no, she is. Okay.
Yeah, she is. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know she's definitely in it.
So, and I don't know if. Let me see if there's a release date yet. I don't think so. It looks like there's going to be 8 episodes, probably each an hour long, I imagine.
Yeah,
Ed
Kit
Brubaker.
Harington is in there too.
Oh, no way. I didn't know that. Awesome. Cool. David Tennant, Haley Atwell, the Nacho from Better Call Saul. That's not his name, I don't think, in Better Call Saul, is it? Yeah, I think it is Nacho. Have you watched Better Call Saul?
No, I have not.
Okay. Yeah, one of the actors from that show's in it. And Ed Brubaker is the co-showrunner with Jordan Harper. So Ed Brubaker, he's attached to it. So I have very high hopes and a lot of faith that they're going to be able to adapt this successfully to the screen. If I'm being honest, it's not like a very fantastical show where, the adaptation is going to be like, it's not like Saga, for example. Like that's like I would question, like, how are they going to adapt that to a TV show? This show it's a crime drama. So
yeah,
I think it's, I don't think it's going to be, I don't know, too hard, I guess, to adapt it and, make it successful.
Yeah, this is one I probably could have added to my list, but there wasn't as much hype there because I haven't read Criminal. I'm sure if I read Criminal, I would be like, oh, sign me up. But as of right now, there's hype, but it's not to the point where I wanted to put it on my list.
That's fair. You have to read Criminal. You got to.
I know. I keep hearing that. Yeah.
Because I would love to talk about this show on the show. And
I'll definitely read it by then for sure. Oh,
cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Do you own it or no?
No, but I mean, I don't think it's super hard to track down at least the first volume.
No, I think they're all 3. If you're just going to do the deluxes, I think they're all in print. And then, I mean, the trade paperbacks are all in print as well. And I imagine when the show gets closer to release, they'll start pumping out new prints of all of them. So, yeah, no, you shouldn't have any problem tracking those down. But yeah, so that is my list of comics, movies, and TV shows that I'm looking forward to in the new year. Yeah, that's that.
A hell of a year to look forward to. I tell you what.
In some regards, I think with TV shows, I think it's stacked. We should have talked about video games too.
Yeah, I kind of thought about that, but
Yeah,
we haven't sprinkled it into the show yet. So maybe we can start that. That can be our 2025 New Year's resolution is
try to
some
sprinkle in video game stuff.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, there's a Marvel game coming out in 2025. Captain America and Black Panther. Marvel 1943 Rise of Hydra. That will be cool. When that comes out, we can talk about that. How about? That can be our first video game. I don't know when it's coming out though. I don't think there's any release. Let's see. I'm just looking real quick to see if there's any standouts that I want to touch on. No, it doesn't look like there's too many video games that I'm excited for that are coming out, honestly. Although I'm really not. I don't play too many video games nowadays, to be honest with you.
I don't either, but I still get excited about them. But Elden
certain
Ring,
ones.
Night Ren's coming out. Monster Hunter Wilds, Assassin's Creed Shadows, Ghost of Yotei, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Adamfall. Those are all titles I'm really pumped for, but
Adamfall, let me see that. It's coming out in March.
yeah, it's like a Fallout style of game.
Okay. I'm sure there'll be a couple video games. There usually is each year that I'm not aware of that comes out, and I'm like, oh, that seems awesome. So that might be one Adamfall where I'm excited for. A Fifth Jet Gaming, when does Wolverine drop? That's a great question. I don't believe there's a release date for that.
Yeah.
Yet, and I can't imagine it's this year, but could be. Let's see. Yeah. I'm reading an article now. Don't expect a release date of 2025, but still could come out in 2025. But who knows?
Yeah, because the gameplay we were seeing, I mean, backgrounds and settings weren't even rendered. It was, Wolverine running around in a, empty, vapid space. So they got a lot of work to do still.
No date yet. Okay, yeah. Kane saying the same thing. Ghost of Toti. I feel like I'm butchering that. That's the Ghost of Tsushima sequel.
Yes. Yep.
Which I played. I'm not huge into like the Japanese culture, I guess, as a whole. I don't know, like ancient samurais and stuff. Not crazy about. I know I'm very much in the minority with that too. That's like super popular. I did enjoy. I never beat Ghost of Tsushima, but from what I played, I did enjoy it. But I don't know. I mean, I'm not. I don't think I'm going to get the sequel, to be honest with you. But it does look cool. Yoti.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
I'm the opposite of that. I love everything Japanese, like samurais, ninjas, all that stuff. So I'm really pumped for it. And the ending of Ghost of Tsushima had like one of the best like dialogue sections of any video game for a really long time. Loved it.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Kane says the footage of the Wolverine game was from the Insomniac hack. I refuse to talk about that. I do remember that. Yeah, I do remember that got leaked. Yeah, it was a big leak. Kevin Davis, do you think Robert Downey Jr., Dr. Doom going to be in Fantastic Four First Steps? Maybe. If it was, it'd probably be like a end credit scene or something like that.
Yeah.
That would be a great way to get the box office up, I imagine, though. If there's rumors of an end credit scene with Robert Downey Jr., I'm sure that will. I'm sure a lot of people would go to the theater to watch it at that point because everyone loves RDJ. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think that's about it. Anything else to add?
No. I'm pumped for the new year. New Year's, new resolutions, new books, new movies, new shows.
Yeah.
Really, really excited to get into the year.
Awesome. Yeah. So we'll figure out some sort of schedule with comes to these releases of movies and TV shows. That way we know going into like the month and whatnot that what we'll be talking about. Fifth Jet Gaming, I am intrigued with the new Mass Effect. Whenever that drops, obvious Wolverine if it drops in 2025. Never played Mass Effect, so I don't know. I never played it. Should I try it? I'm looking for a new video game.
That's my favorite game series ever. Is Mass Effect.
Thank you, Domovex. I appreciate that.
Thank you, Dom.
Awesome. Glad you were here. Shot in the heart. I know. I'm sorry. I mean, I can always play it, I guess.
Yeah. Please, please, please.
I feel like I own it on PS5 actually. I'll have to look.
Yeah, you probably got the most recent edition that has all three. More than
Yeah, I
likely.
feel like either I bought it, or it was like the PlayStation Plus. It was like included in that membership. I don't have that membership anymore just because I just don't play video games. So I'm like, why bother? I'll have to look because if I do own it, I'll download it and give it a shot, I guess. Diamondbacks, thanks for letting me spew out informational trivia. Absolutely. Anytime, Diamondbacks. Anytime. All right. Anything else, Tyler?
No. Happy New Year's, everybody.
Yes.
I didn't say that to you personally.
Cool. Yeah, I think that's going to do it. Everyone, please go subscribe to Illuminati if you have not already. Link in the description. I made sure to add that. And we will catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching, everyone.